PPV, which is like weekly internet shows. But but they brought in, they opened it up to 25, 35 people to come in and watch. So I was in front of family, basically friends. So that was cool and just an experience. But for me, I find that what I do in training, I do in the ring. So since we had trained so hard and we had gotten it down, it was fine. But I am always nervous as far as matches go. I don't care if it's a training match, which we do at the school. I don't care if it's a a tryout per se match, or anything. I get nervous no matter who is in front of. But I think that's a good thing, because if I'm not nervous, that means it's going to be horrible. It's going to be bad. So, so as long as I'm nervous, the match is okay.
All right, talking about nerves, you've had some championship matches before. You've held championships in both ECWA as well as VOW's Vixens Championship. Tell us the honor of holding these belts in two of the top independent promotions in the country.
Sure. Well, for ECWA, it was huge. Not that VOW wasn't huge, but for them to be around 46 some odd years in the history that they have, to never have a woman's title, and for me to be that person, was incredible. But for any title, the people that are in charge, that are running it, they have faith in you. They not only have faith that you're going to do well in this match, but you're going to do well in future matches. So they're putting that on you, and that you're going to be doing well in the future. So it's an incredible feeling to, again, as I said before, someone having faith in me. So it's great. It's awesome, and I hope to have more soon in the future.
Now, watching your matches are fun because, in my opinion, you have a great sense of technical wrestling. What would you say are your favorite moves to use in the ring, and how did you go about developing them?
Sure. Well, before moving to 3D, there was a consistent wrestling school that had just opened up in Maryland again after Gilbert had shut down. That's more closely related to Maryland Championship Wrestling now.
It looks like we might have just lost Kennedy. Kennedy, are you still there with us? Technical difficulties, folks. Matt, are you still there with us?
I'm still here. It seems like it always happens when it's you and me, Ryan.
It does. How does this always happen?
I blame Jim.
Of course. I blame Jim, too, who had his, again, Jim had his appendix removed today. So, thoughts with Jim. Hope he's doing okay. He said he's going to try to call in sometime around the 10 o'clock hour.
Can you hear me?
Kennedy, there you are.
Can you hear me a little bit? No?
I can hear you. Are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm here. That was strange. It told me about something about a sub-conference and pressing a star. I don't know. That was weird.
I'm sorry. We didn't hear any of that, but that's par for the course when me and Matt are running the show.
Yeah, that was strange. I hope my phone doesn't do that again.
No, I think you're coming through pretty clear now.
Okay. But the question was about moves and what moves I like to do. Right. So before coming to 3D, I had found myself in this situation where I had the same moves that I went to, which you tend to do once you get comfortable, but there's to a point where you get comfortable and you don't try new things because you don't have the opportunity to in training. And now that I've come to Team 3D, I'm around different people with different movesets, and I'm getting into a different cardio shape that I have the confidence to do things that are different, that I've never done before, that I never thought I could do. So at this point, I'm really big. I really like, everyone likes a good German suplex every once in a while. I like the good German suplex. I enjoy the cannonball in the corner. I haven't done that on many shows yet. However, I'm trying to get that out there because once I move down here, it's basically like starting over, which is fine. Especially with my name change that I had taken place too. So formerly Jesse K, now Kennadi Brink. So it's starting over. It's a transformation, which I'm happy about. So the style is changing, the confidence is changing, the name changed. So hopefully more success comes from here.
Now we actually, Matt, who was it we just interviewed that went from country to country?
That was Beatrice Priestley.
Okay. Do you find it refreshing, kind of being able to hit the reset button on a career, or is that a whole new challenge for you now?
In life, I hit the refresh button. To be honest with you, quite recently, coming down here, no friends, no family. The only person I knew coming down here was Devon. And I didn't know him very well. I just talked to him a little bit at a few shows and things like that. So he was the only person that I knew coming down here. Scary, exciting, all rolled up to one, absolutely. Being able to completely start over as a new person, scary too. A little bit of frustration, only because I second guess myself and I say, Am I getting anywhere? Am I not? Am I not? Do people know who I am? Do they know my face? Will I get somewhere? So it's a lot. It's a lot in my head all the time, which is fine. This is the wrestling business. This is what I picked. I couldn't have picked something nice like accounting or something. I'm sure my dad would have been a lot more appreciative. But he's like, I know you're good at accounting. I'm like, no, I'm barely passing the class. No, please don't make me do it. But, yeah, it's a big refresh with a name change, with a style change. It's everything, and it's overwhelming at the same time. So only good positive things, though. Positivity, positive mental attitude, or whatever. So that's fine.
Good. And you have positive vibes coming from the 3 Count Thursday camp.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now we're going to talk about styles of matches that you've wrestled. You wrestled in all styles of matches, singles matches, tag team matches, mixed tag matches, intergender. Do you have a preference? Which do you prefer?
I really like a little bit of everything, so intergender tag matches are really fun. One time I did one with Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant, and that was so much fun. So much fun. Because it was so simple but incredible, and the crowd loved it, and I just screaming the whole time, which is fun. Oh, so great. That was a lot of fun. But at the same time, a good singles match where it's hard-hitting and the crowd just as into it as you are is incredible, too. So any match, because once I get in there, it doesn't matter. I'm in my zone. I'm in my happy place. Nothing else matters.
Now, to kind of go off that, you've also had some great opponents, Mickie James, Amber Rodriguez, Kimberly, Marty Bell. Was there ever an instance where you were starstruck?
Starstruck? No, I can't say that yet that I have been starstruck. It came to a point because working with MCW Maryland Championship Wrestling, my home promotion, thankfully working with them on a regular basis, they brought in a lot of names all the time. And so it was to a point where every show I was introducing myself to people that I had grown up watching. So like your Matt Hardys, like your Litas, like your Mickie James. So it was to Ric Flair and Scott Hall, and Mick Foley, and Jake the Snake, and it's like you're on the same show I am, though. But I mean, I understand you're a completely different level. I get that. But for now, as I'm shaking your hand and telling you thank you for coming, we're at the same level.
Right.
You know, what makes them different than me? You've had your success, but what made us different when you first started? And that's what my trainers now tell me, is that nothing's different between you and me. I went to a wrestling school the same that you are now. It's up to you if you make it. So that's how I try to look at it, is starstruckness. You put your pants on the same way that I do. You know,
right.
people are people, right? Now, if I met The Undertaker, no, that's going to be a different story.
Absolutely.
He's my number one.
Explain to us a meeting with Kennedy and The Undertaker.
I don't even know. Like the old version of me, like with like the fangirl 12-year-old version of me, I'm not even sure how it went down. I envisioned it plenty of times, though. It was, like, pretty dramatic and emotional, and I cried and got him to sign something for me. And I was like, you're such an inspiration, and all that stuff.
Does he respond to you?
Does he respond? Actually, what's quite funny is that in most of my dreams in which I've met him, he ends up being a woman. And I'm really disappointed.
Good Lord.
It's horrible. Isn't that so funny, though?
I don't even have a follow-up for that. That's solid. I hope you get to meet him one day and tell him that story. I think he would like that.
I don't think he would. I don't think he'd find it very amusing. No. Mm-mm.
Overall, that's a 3-count Thursday. Me, Jim, and Matt, we're all really big fans of women's wrestling, and we want to see it succeed on the biggest of levels. We all agreed that it's really, really good here on the indie level, but struggles kind of up on the main stage of Raw and SmackDown on the WWE. Why do you think it struggles so much on the main level, and what would you do to help fix that, that it's more accepted, that it's more supported on the main roster?
I think the problem is that for so long, or for at least a good amount of time, it was considered just kind of like a joke, right? Mm-hmm. Even your valets were considered just a joke. It's now just starting to get to that point where you're able to see a main event of NXT or the main event of an NXT takeover or pay-per-view or whatever I guess you would call it to be a women's match, to have that caliber of athlete that they're willing to say, here, take the ball and run with it, investing in that. And that it's just, I think that was the problem, that was, this is a joke. Nah, this is just a filler match, or this is just, we really don't care, or, But in order for people to care, they have to invest. You have to emotionally be invested. So that's the heart of what wrestling is. People have to care. I saw, the internet says it's true, so it must be true, that people left before the end of Monday Night Raw. Or if that's true, which I don't know, I wasn't there, obviously, that they didn't care, right? You don't care. You're not emotionally invested. So you have to, that's the epitome of what wrestling is, caring. Mm-hmm. So they have to care for women's wrestling. So how do you do that? You have to have characters that you invest in, characters that you believe in. So I have to believe that, first of all, you're actually worth a damn and that you're athletes. 2, I have to care that I don't like you, and care that I don't, or I do like you. So there's a lot of factors to that. So how to fix it? Again, just like a lifestyle change, it's not going to happen overnight. We've got to this point progressively. So just going to have to take time, and I think they're going in the right direction with everything, especially with the work that Sarah Del Rey has been doing down there. You can see night and day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just strange because it's so well received at NXT. I mean, certain parts, Eva Marie doesn't get over, but everyone else seems to. but then they hit the main roster and it's just kind of like they fall flat, and it's just